Hoop Ball podcast listeners. Are you a fantasy expert and want to write or podcast for Hoop Ball? Do you have aspirations of covering a team? Are you a master of sales and want to earn some cash on the phones? Well, we've got good news. Hoop Ball's recruiting. If you think you have what it takes, hit us up at Hoop Ball Fantasy on Twitter or by emailing teamhoopball@hoop-ball.com. Again, that's at Hoop Ball Fantasy on Twitter or emailing teamhoopball@hoop-ball.com.
The following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hoop Ballers, welcome back to another episode of Today in Sports Betting. It is Thursday around lunchtime, Miami, Florida. I got my main man, Devin Ellington, with me. Devin, what's up, buddy? How are you this morning?
Shoot, not much. Threw in a dart tournament last night, got third place. But, other than that, just enjoying Oklahoma.
Love it, man. Love it. Again, another scheduling conflict here, but let's see if we can knock this out and get some winners for the listeners today. We got a lot to talk about. We got MLB, we got one NBA game, we got NHL, and we have the return of the NFL. Are you excited about it?
Man, we have pro and college football tonight, and it's just a beautiful thing.
Awesome. Well, before we jump into today's slate, let's give a shout out to our sponsors over at manscaped.com. They just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 with their water-resistant technology. I love mine. Devin loved his, and you should get one too. Go to manscaped.com, type in the promo code HoopBall20. That's HOOPBALL20 at manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping. Once again, HoopBall20 at manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping. Devin, we got a little bit of a double header here today to kick things off. We got my Detroit Tigers again, who really disappointed us yesterday against St. Louis Cardinals and Flaherty on the mound. Cardinals and Flaherty are minus 240 favorites. Detroit plus 195, over under 6.5, shaded to the under at minus 120. Any thoughts for you here in game one to kick us off today?
Yeah, I haven't had any recent luck with these 7-inning doubleheader games, first or second leg of them. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this. Skubal, he's a rookie, making his third start. Flaherty, he's capable, maybe a first 5 under or first 3.5. I'm saying that again. But, again, no true opinion. This is just a weird one in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of lean to the under here as well. I kind of like the steam, but you never know with these Tigers. They can give up 400 runs like they did yesterday, so we could be in the same spot again. So I'm going to pass on this game as well. Next game on the board, we got the Astros and Ukidi. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. That's maybe you can help me out against Minaya.
You're Katie or something. I've heard it said once.
Against Minaya and the Athletics. Minaya and the Athletics minus 155 favorites here. Houston plus 130. I had a nice little in-game wager on the Athletics last night at minus 110 to win the game. They came back and won, so that was nice. Cashed some tickets there. But yeah, I mean, here you got Minaya. I'm not too familiar with the Houston pitcher here today. Maybe you can shed some light for me. But Minaya is pretty capable, pretty solid lefty for the Athletics. Remind me, how do the Astros hit lefties?
They got a couple guys specifically that do really, really well. Yuli Gurriel, Carlos Correa, and Martin Maldonado all hit over 300. They're all above 340, in the 340 mark, and all above 750 as far as OPS. Michael Brantley was just destroying lefties to begin the year, but he's down under 300 now, but he's got a 938 OPS. So Astros typically, are capable against left-handed bats.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is a game where I really like Oakland. I mean, I know you do long-term as well for the season, so I'm going to just it's a little bit of a pricey here today at minus 155. Maybe look to see if the Astros can get up, maybe take a live in-game wager on the Athletics again. I do think the Athletics pull this one out and win the game, but hopefully maybe we can get a better line in-game. What do you think there?
I mean, you're the guru with it, so I mean that's a good look. Pre-flop, and it'll, how I am. Steven Piscotty's out. Excuse me. Matt Chapman is doubtful. So those are two pretty big guys for Oakland. So take that with what you will.
Yeah, that's scary. But, I still think Oakland's got what it takes to get the victory here. But, this is probably a pass game for me.
Yeah.
Slightly into Oakland here. But, it's a little too pricey for me at minus 150, minus 155. Next game on the board, we got Dylan Bundy and the Angels taking on the Rangers. Rangers won 2 straight against the Angels here, which is surprising. I've been on the Angels 2 nights in a row. 2 L's for the Magic Man over here in Miami. But you got to think the Angels are going to right the ship here at minus 160 road favorites against Kyle Gibson and the Rangers. Over under 8 shaded to the over minus 115. Any thoughts for you here? I think I'm on the Angels today again. But at minus 160, a little pricey. But, you got to think that the Rangers winning 2 in a row, it's time for the Angels to right the ship.
To drop one, yeah. I like that take. Again, the juice is just it makes me feel a little uncomfortable about it. I was looking at maybe more of a safe play of a team total for the Angels over 4.5 because they get a tremendous hitting upgrade against right-handed pitching. Speaking specifically of, Albert Pujols, Anthony Rendon, Andrelton Simmons, Mike Trout. Those guys are all, in the heart of that order, and they get the biggest upgrades. So your biggest bats get the biggest upgrade against a right-handed pitcher, and Kyle Gibson, who has almost a 6.0 ERA. So I'm looking at a team total over for the Angels at
that might be the better way. That might be the better way to play this game here over the team total. What are you laying any juice here at over?
It's it's 1.25 minus 125.
Not terrible. Not terrible.
No.
Next game on the board, Devin, we got the Atlanta Braves and Robbie Erlin on the mound, the lefty for the Braves against the Nationals, and Austin Voth, the righty. Braves minus 160 road favorites against the Nationals plus 130. Over under 10.5 shaded to the over at minus 120 here. These two teams can turn it on, turn it off at multiple times throughout the season, as we've seen.
Yeah.
This is probably a pass game for me, but I mean, obviously, I think the Braves are the better team here at minus 160 favorites. I just wouldn't lay the minus 160 with the Braves. I might be peaking at the over 10.5, but not really too excited about this one. What about you?
I wish I had data on the game after a team scores 29 freaking runs and what they do the next day offensively, because that's the position the Braves are in. As you know, you and I were on the Marlins yesterday, and what do you know? The team that we picked against almost broke the major league record for most runs scored in a game. So yeah, I'm a little gun shy and feelings hurt over here.
I posted on Twitter. It's like I posted. Yeah, well, Devin, it's like I posted on Twitter. I'd rather lose a game 12-0 and 29-9 or whatever, than lose a game 8-7 or 8-6. So
it's a pretty big outlier. Just kind of fluky, obviously.
Yeah.
But same here. Same pass game. I expect lots of runs though, and it just jumped to 11 on the total just now.
There you go.
Follow the steam.
Kansas City and Brady. Yeah, follow the steam. Sometimes Kansas City and Brady Singer against Aaron Savali and the Indians. Indians another big favorite in this one, minus $2. Royals plus 160. We didn't go back to the well with them yesterday. I think this is a spot where the Indians probably dominate.
Yeah.
I'd probably lean minus 1.5, minus 110 on the run line, but no true opinion here. I do like my Royals, so I'll probably just stay off this one. What about you here?
No true opinion. I was gonna say maybe Cleveland team total over, but it's at 4.5. I really don't like that hook. If I could have got 4, I would have went with it. But yeah, nothing worth seeing here in my opinion.
Now we got a game that I think you might have an opinion on, and that's the Philadelphia Phillies and Jake Arrieta against Sandy Alcantara and the Marlins, both minus 110, and the over is 8.5 shades, the over minus 120. Give me your thoughts on this game here.
So Philly, they opened as a even money dog. Now they're at minus 110, so market shifting their, favorable number. Man, Jake Arrieta is allowing a lot of runs this year. So
which leads me to my next question. What's the over team total in the Marlins?
That's what I was just looking at. I bet it's 4. It's 4 at -122. Even if Arrieta goes 6 innings, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, there's still the Philadelphia bullpen. I don't know how many bets I thought were dead. And then 6th, 7th inning involving, the Phillies, it all of a sudden it's just like pow, pow, pow. The bullpen, they're right there with the Diamondbacks as far as one of the worst in the league. So over 4 team total Miami. I like it.
I like
it's,
it too.
-110.
I like it too. Let's go back to the well with the Marlins, but let's only play the team total today at over 4. You got the Red Sox and Mike Kickham against Josh Fleming and the Rays. Rays -$2 favorites. Red Sox +160. Over under 9 runs. Shaded to the over -120. I kind of like the over here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have if you can back me up on this or disagree. What do you think here?
Well, I really like the over just for the specific reasoning that this is going to be what it looks to be a bullpen game for the Red Sox, and the Red Sox are right up there with the Phillies and the Diamondbacks as far as being one of the worst bullpens or pitching staffs in the league. 83% of the bet percentage and 97% of the money is on the over. That's kind of where I was at first glance. I like it. These Rays bats are just, you don't see a lot of superstar names in here, but they just do what they need to get some runs and to win. Their team total's 5. And it's -125. So if it was like -115 or -110, I would think about it a little more. But as of right now, just the full game over, I think.
Yeah, I like full game over, 9 runs there in that one. Next game up on the board, we got the Birds, the Dirty Birds, and Keegan Aiken, the lefty, against the Yankees. Garrett Cole, who's been very shaky this season.
Yeah.
Birds are +205. Yankees -260 on the comeback. Over under 9, shaded to the under -120 here. Tough one for me here. I'm leaning over 9.
Yeah.
But no true opinion. I'm not too happy with today's slate of games in the MLB.
It's pretty rough. Garrett Cole's going to have a good outing eventually, right? Like, he can't just go sign this mega deal with the Yankees to just have a 4.0 ERA the whole season, right? I mean, that's not – I don't know. So it's like I'm banking on him to make this good start, but then I look at the numbers of what the Orioles can do specifically against the spread. They're 9-1 in their last 10, 15-3 on the year on the road, 28-13 against the spread total, and they're getting plus money at the run line. So I'm taking a peek at that. I'm trying, just talk me out of not being crazy and taking the Dirty Birds here just for the hell of it. I mean, it's plus 225. Talk me out of it. I want to.
I can't talk you out of it. The Orioles got some bats, and at plus $2 or better, it's always nice to take a shot against the Yankees, who seem to be hampered by injuries, and and Garrett Cole looked a little shaky. So I don't mind it. I don't mind the play.
Right.
If you lose, that's fine, but at least we think there's a little bit of value here at over $2.
I got a couple, and honestly, you talk about the value. I think this should probably be a little bit more like plus 180. In my book, my opinion, but couple team total plays maybe here for Baltimore, 3.5 -110 for the full game, and then first 5 over 1.5 at -110. Garrett Cole's been giving up a couple runs early. I mean, he'll still get his shutout or his strikeouts, but it seems the first 2 innings, he usually gives up at least 1. So maybe looking at them to go over their team total in the first half or first 5 and the full game.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I like the team total for the Orioles as well. Before we jump into the last few games here on the MLB slate, let's just remind everybody our other sponsors over at MyBookie.ag. Go sign up, create an account, get 100% match on your first deposit. Use the promo code HOOPBALL, HOOPBALL. Get a free $10 MLB future wager as well. Devin, we got the Cincinnati Reds against your Chicago Cubbies. The Cubbies are rolling out Alzolay, and the Reds are rolling out Sonny Gray. Reds are -140 with Gray on the mound. Cubbies are plus 120 here. Over under 7 runs, shaded to the over -125. Any thoughts for you here on this one? I know this is in your sweet spot.
Sure. Well, Sonny Gray is one of my favorite pitchers. So this is going to be tough. Maybe a first 5 under. 14-mile-per-hour wind in. I always keep an eye on that at Wrigley just because that's what everyone talks about, the field, in the wind. But other than that, maybe a Sonny Gray over strikeouts prop if you can get it at like 7.5, 6.5, because he's going to get probably 8. He's a really good strikeout pitcher, and the Cubs have holes in their bats. First 5 under, Sonny Gray, strikeout prop over 6.5.
Interesting. We got the Giants against the Padres. Paddock on the mound for the Padres. Cahill on the mound for the Giants. Giants +150. Padres -180. Over under 9. Shaded to the under -115. You got to think that the Giants can maybe hold their own here in this one. I kind of lean over the 9 runs, but I do like Paddock. Cahill is shaky at times, but I do like the over the 9 runs -105. Any thoughts here for you on this one?
So I was actually taking a peek at the under, just for the simple fact that, you talked about Cahill, but he's made some really good starts his last 2 starts ago. He pitched into like the 7th or the 8th, I think. Again, pitcher's ballpark. I'm not sure if it helped me yesterday. I said it yesterday about the...
Yeah, but it could be a pitcher's ballpark, but the Giants just don't really hit tons of home runs. They really just put the ball in play, get a lot of base hits. So that's what leads me to think that, both these teams are really good at that. So that's what leads me to think over the 9 runs here.
That's not a bad take. I will say San Fran opened at +180. It's all the way down to +155, like you said. So... I think either the Sharp or the public or someone, lots of people are thinking Giants tonight.
Yeah, Giants over. I don't hate it. Dodgers and Dustin May against Madison Bumgarner. And the Diamondbacks +205 for the Diamondbacks at home, -225 for the Dodgers. I do like this spot here for the Dodgers at -1.5 on the run line at -140. That's kind of where I would lean in this one. I do think that the Dodgers finally will put together a game. I do like Dustin May a lot, and Madison Bumgarner is just a bum. He's a little washed up in my opinion. So I'm looking to lean Dodgers run line -1.5, -140 here. Any thoughts for you on this one?
I mean, they definitely have the way more potent offense, so that's going to be the way to go. They cover pretty decently ATS. So, you're not looking at anything as far as skewed numbers on that. They're actually better on the road than they are at home, ATS. So, and again, we're talking about the Diamondbacks, and we should just go ahead and start calling Madison Bumgarner just Mad Bum. Like, just call him his nickname because he's now turned into a mad bum. Like, it's ridiculous.
He has. Devin, last game to talk about, we got game 2 of the Detroit Tigers St. Louis Cardinals series here, and that's Jordan Zimmerman on the mound for the Tigers. St. Louis Cardinals rolling out Austin Gomber. Cardinals in game 2 are -$2 favorites. Zimmerman and the Tigers +160. I kind of like the Zim and the Tigers here at +160 in game 2. Yeah. Can you talk me out of it, or are you into my pick here at the plus money in game 2?
Invader Zim. So I personally I'm going to stay away from these 2 games just because I'm doing terrible with these 7-inning games. I'm not mad at your pick whatsoever though. Gomber came out, made his first start with the Cardinals, pitched really well, as you can tell by his ERA. But small sample size, the Detroit Tigers like lefties hitting against them. And then Zimmerman's a capable veteran arm, so you get, good 4 innings in this 7-inning game out of him, and who knows what can happen.
All right. Are you ready for some football, Devin?
Oh, my gosh. Please?
All right. I love me some football. We got a Thursday night marquee matchup here. Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson, David Johnson taking on Kansas City Chiefs, and Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs are -9.5. Over under in this game, 53.5. Man, I really want to take the Texans here +9.5. I just feel like it's a lot of points.
Yeah.
But, you could maybe sprinkle a little bit. Just proceed with caution so early in the season. Sprinkle a little bit on the 9.5, and maybe the Chiefs go up 14-0, and you can get the Texans in game at maybe plus 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, something like that.
A couple possessions.
So that's what I would look for in this one. That's how I would attack this game. Any thoughts for you on the Texans-Chiefs game?
I'll tell you what, I don't know how I was able to get it, but I was able to take Kansas City plus 54. That's to me, that's the best bet of the night. Now,
yeah.
As the listeners probably know, and then the Twitter followers, MyBookie was doing the Kansas City plus 54 points promotion because they won Super Bowl 54. But anyways, promo stuff aside, this Chiefs team, their offense is ridiculous. But look at what Houston did against them in the playoffs before choking off that 21-point lead, 24-point lead. So that Bill O'Brien's offense and Deshaun Watson can get things done. I want to see how the Kansas City defense starts this season after going on that tear the last 4 weeks of the season and into the postseason, other than allowing a bunch of points to their first game. But the last 5 games of the year last year, I think they were averaging 15 points per game as a defense. So I just want to enjoy this game. I'm going to cop out. I just want to enjoy this game. I got my Kansas City plus 54 for MyBookie, but week 1, small unit size, like you've said before, bud.
Absolutely. We got some NBA to talk about. One game on the board, Los Angeles Lakers -5, over under 218 against the Houston Rockets. Rockets, I've been betting pretty well with this series in game, so I'm going to look for the Rockets plus double digits again tonight. Hopefully, Lakers can take a little bit of a lead, and we can get down on the Houston Rockets plus 12.5, 13, 14, something like that. That's kind of where I'm looking to lay my money. Bet nothing pre-flop except for maybe potentially the over, but that's not really anything that I'm looking to play tonight.
So there's a system that I've been following for the NBA playoffs, and that's when there's more money on the favorites than there is the bet percentage, the favorite covers 64% of the time and has a 24% ROI. And I rolled with both favorites Tuesday night. They both covered. Last night, Toronto-Boston was a little weird just because of the overtime game, but the Clippers covered. I had them covering. So I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to see about this 64% cover percentage and a 24% ROI, and I'm just going to roll with the Lakers covering and going up 3-1 because they look pretty good right now.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Houston wins the game, but definitely Lakers is probably the right side.
Sure.
But no real opinion for me pre-flop. I'm just going to try and get the Rockets double digits at some point during the game. And then we got an NHL game to talk about. We got the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Dallas Stars. Vegas -165, Dallas plus 145, over under 5.5 goals. Over is plus 115, under -135. I like under 1.5 goals in the first period. I also like the Vegas Golden Knights to win the game. And then maybe after the first period, see if you can get over 3.5 goals and maybe lay down the action on over 3.5. Lay some juice, maybe -140, -145. But that's kind of where I would lean in this game. You agree, disagree, or are you just kind of rolling with it?
Yeah, you've been spot on with this series. We obviously, both of us, I followed your futures lead, and I'm rooting for the Knights for futures tickets' sake. So both of these games so far have gone under by a couple of goals. Do you think maybe these teams light it up, or is this just the way the series is going to be? It's just going to be a defensive.
I think it's just going to be grinded out hockey. But I like under 1.5 in the first period, and I like maybe if you could take it a live over 3.5 after the first period. Hopefully you can get that line. I'll be waiting and watching as well. That's all the time we have for today, gentlemen and ladies who are listening out there. Our fellow hoopballers, please follow us on Twitter. I'm at Ira Silver Magic. Devin's at DALE007. We're at Hoopball Gaming on Twitter as well. Follow us along for our plays of the day and our live bets. We are a Hoopball presentation. That's hoop-ball.com. Make sure you go check out manscaped.com. Type in the promo code Hoopball20 and mybookie.ag promo code hoop ball. All right, guys, we'll see you back on tomorrow, Friday, and we'll talk a little bit about the NFL upcoming schedule for the weekend.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.